You guys, so I just got a brand new camera, and the crazy thing about this camera is that it actually comes with its own electric motorcycle. Or wait, I'm starting to think that it's actually the other way around.
Guys, help! I'm stuck in here!
So for $7,000, this might be the closest thing to a real-life Tron bike. The Naxeon I Am is a full-sized electric motorcycle that is packed with enough tech to rival the iPhone. For starters, this bike has a full 360 lighting setup that just screams, hey, I had $7,000 at one point and now I have this bike. This unique front monoshock is not only designed to look cool, but they also claim that it allows this bike to ride smoother than the traditional fork setup, which is something I'm gonna have to be the judge of. When fueling this bike back up with those sweet ions, you are treated to the world's most satisfying charge port hatch. Just look at it go. It gets fun when you realize that this bike has an infotainment screen like no other that gives you real-time ride data like top speed, range, miles, tire pressure, navigation, motor and battery temperature, and my favorite part is this built-in front and rear camera that allows you to film all of your rides. When you shut this bike off, the handlebars will lock, stopping anyone from being able to take this bike and making them look dumb as they move your bike around in little circles. They claim the top speed of this bike is up to 72 miles per hour with a range of 115 miles. This range is achieved by a massive 6.5 kilowatt hour battery, which actually dwarfs the batteries from any other bike that I've ever tested. Size-wise, I'm 6'2" without shoes, and it's a comfortable fit for me. Although I do feel that this bike can suit a wide range of riders. With features like the Naxeon App and boost mode, I feel like I barely skimmed the surface, but I promise I'll get into that later because our first test for the Naxeon is a real-world range test. This way we can test the massive 6.5 kilowatt hour battery capacity while also seeing how the tech aids our bike on a real-world drive. At this point in the video, don't forget to subscribe and comment your favorite e-bike, and I'll make sure to pin my favorite.
Alright, range test time. Says we got 110 miles left. Do I actually think we're going to go 110 miles? Not really, but we will see. I'm going to just ride this thing until I kill the battery, and I'm going to try to kill the battery as fast as I can. So let's answer the question, how far can this Naxeon I Am really go? Yeah, so coming up this hill, I'm noticing that in the non-boost mode, it is super tame. Like, I'm actually able to full throttle this bike a lot. You can see I'm full throttling it right now, and we're going about 30 miles per hour. It might be because of the speed mode I'm in, actually. Let me modify this. Okay, let's take care out of dynamic, sail, zigzag. Okay, zigzag, whoa. Okay, zigzag is feeling a little bit quicker. Wow. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is much better. So there's different speed modes, and I might have been in the slow one. But of course, so far, the bike is feeling very smooth. I don't know if it's quite as smooth as the Eohora Knight, which is an electric chopper, but it's definitely smoother than any other bike that I've ridden. Handles better for sure. Alright, so going back on the topic of handling, we're a couple miles into this range test and we're on some very windy roads. This bike is handling great. Now, I'm not somebody who necessarily cuts it up, but it is quite comfortable. So far, the traction from the tires feels excellent. The suspension is great. It's eating up all of these little bumps in the road. So comfort is zero issue with this bike. And given that it weighs 300 pounds compared to a lot of the lightweight electric motorcycles that I have tested in the past, this is the heaviest bike that I've reviewed, but it doesn't feel any heavier. It feels grounded, which is awesome. It feels like all of that weight is simply going into traction. So it's very elegantly designed. Yo, look at this. Oh, should I go up this hill? Oh my God, I'm so tempted. Oh my God. Oh, fuck it. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. No way I just did that on the road bike. And now we're on this trail here. This is definitely meant for either mountain bikes or dirt bikes. So if I was bringing my Raw Mantis up here, definitely be riding on this. Whoa, look at this. Can she off-road? Yeah, a little bit. So far, loving it. We're at 62%, so we haven't even burned through 40. And I mean, there's just so much more road. I know this goes all the way down to like Carpinteria. I'm just gonna go as far as I can. So far, everything has been uphill. So you guys gotta keep in mind, everything's been uphill. Everything's been basically full throttle. I'm trying to cut this thing up. I'm trying to burn through this battery life as quick as possible, but I'm still enjoying this bike so much. So far, my butt is not hurting. Actually, it actually feels great. My hunchies feel like they've been massaged by an angel. Take that as you will. When you actually take the seat off, which I'll show you a photo, it's super thin, but despite that, it's made out of a super soft, comfy material. Perhaps it's made out of memory foam, perhaps it's made out of the stuff that they make the purple mattresses out of, not sure. As for the brakes, they've actually handled pretty well. You can see how big these brakes are. Quad piston motorcycle brakes with thick, probably 230 millimeter by 3 millimeter brake rotors. Motorcycle setup. Wow, those are actually really high. I can feel that through my glove.
So at this point in my range test, I was enjoying the bike a lot, but I needed to lock in because I was thinking deeply about the top speed test that I wanted to do on this bike later in this video. So after 3 whole hours of riding, burning through 80% of the battery, we led to this.
All right, y'all, so after what must have been 3 hours of riding, trying to drain the battery as fast as I possibly could, we are now back home with 20% battery left. And actually taking a look at our display here, you can see that we have gone 55.9 miles. So 56 miles with 3 hours of driving, trying to drain the battery as fast as I possibly could. So no doubt, with the driving that I'm doing, this bike would easily be able to reach 70 miles of range, which is just insane. And if you're riding this bike normally, I think 100 miles is definitely very plausible. All of that doesn't really matter to me because what I really want to show you guys is this little button right here, which when you press it, puts this bike into boost mode. You can actually see that there's red arrows going up towards our speedometer here, which is awesome. And that means that you're in boost mode, which unlocks this bike's true top speed of up to 75 miles per hour. So at this point, you guys have probably got the hint. We're gonna go ahead and do a top speed test. Make sure to go ahead and leave your guesses as to how fast you think this bike is gonna go in the comments. And without further ado, let's see how fast this bike can actually go. All right, so this is actually gonna be a sort of strategic top speed test because when you actually press down on that boost button, you only get boost for about 30 seconds. So we have to wait till we get to the non-boost top speed before we press that boost button to help us get this bike to that 70 mile per hour point. Gonna go ahead and get tucked in. It is pretty windy. We are going into a headwind, so let's keep that in mind. Right now it says we're doing 57. I'm gonna go ahead and press that boost button. Oh my God. We're doing 66, 67, 68. Oh my God. And our battery percentage is now at 81%. I actually forgot what it was at before, but it definitely went down a little bit, that's for sure. All right, so right now I'm gonna pull up to my buddy Sheldon's place because I wanna show him this bike. I showed him the Eohora Night last time and he loved it. He actually crashed it. So I'm not gonna let him ride this bike this time, but I do wanna show him what's going on with this thing. Sounds like he's here. Yo, it's Endotism.
What's up, Pete? Look at Tron here.
Are you selling the boat right now? $500 for this boat.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, he's already on the bike. Yo, I was just telling the camera, I'm like, hey, no, stay off the bike, stay off the bike. If you crash this, I have to pay for it. It's not like the last bike. I was literally telling the camera, I'm not gonna let Sheldon ride this bike.
Watch. This thing looks too nice.
Oh my God, I'm never gonna financially recover from this.
Here, look at, put Peony on the bike.
Yeah, put the Peony on the bike. Registered. We was touchscreens and shit.
Yeah, we would.
Yeah, look, it shows your tire pressure, like average energy consumption, so it like tells you how you're riding, odometer. You got cameras. Look, you can flip the cameras. Let me get a video of you into the front camera and be like, oh, just.
Back camera.
We got back camera. Look. This is the world's first TikTok filmed on an e-bike.
Yeah.
So of course, like I mentioned, I gotta talk about the Naxeon app, which allows you to connect this bike directly to your phone. Now, first off, I gotta say it's incredibly intuitive, and I'm gonna show a little screen recording of the app right here, just to give you guys a quick preview of it. So you can see this is a little home screen right here. You have a few different buttons right here. You got a cushion button, which allows you to unlock your seat, which was already unlocked. You got a battery cover button so that you can just control that from the app, which I don't really see why you would pull out your phone to do that when there's a button on the screen, but you can. And then you also have this finding button, which essentially turns on the incredibly loud horn so that if for whatever reason you don't know where your bike is, you can press the horn button and it should allow you to locate it in a parking lot. Of course, you have this little ride button here, which allows you to see like some GPS history, your video recordings, right, from your dash cam that is built into this bike. And then of course, a few other cool features, but those are my favorites. Now this app has a really cool design and all, but you can see after using the locking feature and actually turning this bike off from the app, which should be the main feature that you'd want to actually use this app for, it basically just shuts off all connection from the app to this electric motorcycle. No matter what I do, no matter how many times I try to reconnect to this bike, it basically just doesn't allow me to turn this bike on using the app. So yeah, it's pretty intuitive, it's pretty cool, but they do need to work on the connectivity. After owning this bike for 2 weeks, I do believe that it is designed very well. I have heard of some people having issues with it in the past, but since then, they have taken this thing back to the workshop to fix any flaws that this bike has previously had. And I gotta say, the technology on this bike is incredibly sound. The touchscreen is responsive, all of the buttons work great. It feels incredibly solid. There's nothing that creaks or rattles on this bike. The handling is amazing, it feels planted. The battery is so heavy that it just brings the center of mass right to the bottom of this bike. So it just feels like you can really corner and turn on this bike super easily. So it really does feel like without all of the technology and everything, this is just a super solid base platform. But then when you add the technology, it takes this bike to the next level. Overall, I gotta give this Naxeon a thumbs up. It's definitely something that I would personally buy, and I think it's worth it for the $7,000, given the amount of range that you get with this bike. And without further ado, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon in the next one. Later.